Well, good morning, everyone. It is Stephanie Lueras with Heart and Soul Fitness and Wellness, and we are here with Coffee and Connect with Stephanie Lueras. And we're late today, we're early, depending on which message you've read, because I did post a message today saying we were going to be delayed and starting at 9:50, and it's 9:18. It's a Monday, and it's a Monday that's Mondaying. So we're going to roll with it. So happy Monday. Very windy Monday. If you're here in Lake Havasu City, I had to turn the heater back on. Not real happy about that. So, the beauty of Zoom, I got my blanket on still. So anyway, take a deep breath and enjoy some good conversation here this Monday. You can join me live in the Zoom room to carry on the conversation with me. Go to bit.ly/coffee with Stephanie, and then I don't have to talk to myself. But other than that, it's okay. You can catch the recording too. So today we are talking about self-talk, our internal dialogue. Once I came up with this topic, I want to say we've actually used this topic before, but we're going to roll with it anyway, because this is a topic you can't talk about too much. And now that I've said this is our topic today, I can't remember why this topic came into my mind, but again, a Monday that's Mondaying. So self-talk. This is one of those places that we really can set ourselves up for success, or we can be our biggest roadblock. And it all comes back to those things that go through our mind. The brain is such a powerful place, and it's amazing how just the words we say, the things that we hear ourselves say, the things that we say about ourselves to ourselves have the power to build up or tear down. It's incredible. And so I want you to think about today, like what are you saying? What are the words that are going through your mind? What is that power that your words have? Right now, the self-talk that you're engaging in, is it positive? Or is it negative? So I've shared this before in a lot of different places. Not so much anymore. I've improved. I won't say I'm a champion at it by any means, but the self-talk that I used to have about myself was wretched. Like there is no negative descriptor appropriate to describe how horrible I used to talk to myself about myself. I would never speak about another human the way that I would rag on myself about me. And that truly feeds back into the effect that I treated then myself in my actions, in my physical actions. If I spoke to myself so horribly, if I treated myself so horribly emotionally, then why was it worth taking care of myself physically? Why was it worth doing something for myself? Why was it worth it? It wasn't. I had no worth. It took a very long time, a lot of work, a lot of therapy, a lot of support from a lot of different places outside of me, but it took a lot of intentional work on my part to understand that just by the fact that I exist, just by the fact that I breathe, just by the fact that my creator thought that I was worthy of walking this earth, that I have worth, that I am inherently worthy, just because, just being. Think about that. And so once I was able to start to understand that, there's some days I don't, then I was able to start to come to a place where I could take action to care for that person that had worth. I treated other people like they had worth. So if I had worth too, then I was worth treating in the same way, in taking care of myself, in hydrating my body, in feeding it good food, in moving it in a way that feels good, in being well. So it's very important to understand. Once we come to that baseline of neutrality, like it's not even this place of self-love yet. Like love is this whole different place. Like self-love, self-acceptance, like that's up here. Like worth right here. We're just at the baseline. That's neutrality. That's being on the even playing field. Now stepping it up a bit. Then it's starting to look at what are the things that I continue to say? What are the thoughts that go through my head on a daily basis? And do they serve me? Are they edifying? And reframing them in ways that serve me. One of the favorite quotes that I have, it's right up here on one of my computer monitors. Are you making it up or is it true? It's a quote from Rhonda Britton, The 12 Steps of Freedom. I didn't make it up. I ain't that smart. And if you want to know more, I got like probably a dozen fearless living coaches in my back pocket I can refer you to, depending on your personality. But are you making up it or is it true? Because we got stories that we tell ourselves about our worth, about who we are, and what we are capable of. Oh no, I can't do that. No, actually you can. But we put a barrier, real or perceived, in the way. I've talked about those barriers before. We talk ourselves out of things. I was wrestling with something this morning, even as I was going to bed last night. But how can I make that happen? It's going to set up the whole week in a really bad way. How can I just do this simple thing for me and my family? Just to get through the week. I was really getting down on myself about it because I was frustrated. I went to bed with a bad attitude and I woke up with a bad attitude. a simple solution came to me. But in my head, because I couldn't figure it out, then it was going down that road of, because I couldn't fix it in the moment, then it was wrong. And I'm not doing something right. And it had nothing to do with me. So it's starting to be conscious, be aware of the thoughts that we have. How do we change them? How do we stop them in their tracks? And how do we flip the script? And are we responsible for the story that we have? Now, in this case, it was just a different action I had to take. And having the confidence to know what's ours is ours and what isn't. Now, when we look at the idea of negative self-talk, positive self-talk, it's not this idea of like being all positive all the time and living in this optimistic world. Like I'm always straight up, like I'm a realist. Like, yes, I like to be happy. I like to be smiley, but I'm pretty real when it comes to life. And I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to tell you the good things, but I'm going to tell you the not so good things too. But I'm not going to dwell on the not so good things, because I think there's ways to get through the negative. So when we look at that positive self-talk, that negative self-talk, what are some of the ways that we get to control that? And it's not looking through the rose-colored glasses, but sitting in the middle and looking at all those thoughts through that neutrality, through what is real, what is not, and not dwelling in one side or the other. And having support that we can bounce ideas off of. It comes back to that accountability factor too. And because sometimes when we get stuck in our heads, it can be a scary place. And maybe even having somebody say, when you hear me say this, just, give me a sign or give me a facial expression, or say, or even say this, so that it triggers me to say or do something else, so that we can start to get into the intentional habit of changing our thoughts, changing the way we speak, changing the way we act, not only around others, but around ourselves. Because the more we start to reframe those thoughts, the more we are intentionally practicing being aware, the more we change what's in our minds. So that's what I got for you. Hope it's helpful. Take what you need, leave the rest. And as always, you can leave your comments and questions in the comments. My DMs are always open if you have something a little bit more personal to share or ask. And we are always here on Mondays at 9 a.m. and next week will be 9 a.m. Like I said, it's a Monday that's Mondaying today, but we're here. So anyway, I would like to point out that I do have a new offering on my website that I'm very excited to share, and that is the VIP experience. And basically what that is if you've ever had one of those times where you thought like, I wish I had somebody to just help me get started. Like, I'm overwhelmed with fill in the blank, that I'm good with whatever it is once I get going, but it's the food, it's the movement, it's the whatever. I just need that structure in getting started. I need that organization. I need a little bit of help and instruction in putting all the resources together. We can talk about what that looks like. I have half day and full day slots available, and I would love to be that support in getting you started. So I will drop the link for that in the comments or the video description, depending on where you're going to be watching this recording. Have a beautiful rest of your Monday. Again, we'll be here on time next Monday. Again, it's Coffee and Connect with Stephanie Lueras. Have a great